Well, nobody really wants to be president. It's fucking, they crawl up your ass with a microscope.
Dude.
It's not fun. They've talked about you being president.
Dude, I know.
I remember at one point in time, it was like they were saying it should be The Rock and Oprah. They should be president and vice president.
Dude, so one of the parties came to visit me.
Oh, no.
At the end of last year, asking for me to run.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it was...
For president?
For president.
Wow.
It was, first of all, incredibly fucking surreal.
Right.
Because I was the guy, who was wrestling in flea markets years ago, looking for free corn dogs and hot dogs and shit, selling my headshots for $5, trying to make money. And then all of a sudden I'm having that conversation. But no, it was just incredibly surreal and so wild, but also so incredible that they had all this data that they had said, if this happens, here's the result. And,
wow.
It was really fucking deep.
All right, welcome and all American Cartel members, Anons, Facebook friends, Twitter followers, random YouTube viewer, BitChute viewer, TikToker, Redditor, GLPer, 4chaner, and anybody else that might be watching. Thanks for joining me. My name is Julio. I am the Theorizing Theorist, and today we're going to be talking about Project Looking Glass, Through the Looking Glass, or whatever you call it. And basically, I need y'all to understand that President Trump is probably still the president. And with that said, I need y'all Republicans to understand that Trump was and is the president of all Americans. And I do believe Donald Trump loves his Mexicans. So if you're Mexican, please consider voting for him, to be honest, because this is going to piss off some Republicans that are completely anti-immigration, which I completely understand. Me being son of immigrants, I'm kind of sympathetic to the humanitarian issues down at the border, as is Trump. And from what I've noticed, a lot of Republicans these days have now figured out a better way to fight the immigration, as opposed to being sounding like racist bigots and doing these silly things like the wall, which I told you in the very beginning was Trump was never going to do it. It was never his intentions to complete it. He bamboozled a lot of y'all to win the vote. Some of you guys have to realize that, like when Obama won, he already has his base Democrats, his diehards. So when he's trying to win election, he's trying to win the middle ground, right? The moderates, the independents, and whatnot, and some of the swing votes. And so when he can show that he is tough on immigration, remember, Obama was known as the deporter in chief, but when he can show that he is pro Republican views, let's just say, then he can get a lot of those middle ground votes. He already has the diehards, and the same thing applies to Trump. Trump knows, that he can not do any raids, because think about it. There was going to be one big raid under Trump, and who blew it? Who supposedly messed the whole thing up and exposed it the weekend before? It was Trump, because Trump didn't want families torn apart. He's into more precision, going for the actual criminals that come across the border and whatnot. He's not too bothered. I mean, everybody wants everybody to be identified, right? And that's the goal. That's why he brought judges down. Well, I'm getting off track here. I'm getting into the immigration thing, and we're here to talk about Project Looking Glass. So I apologize for getting derailed there. But as you can see, lots and lots and lots of information about this Project Looking Glass. And in my opinion, Donald Trump, as they said, was selected. He didn't win it. He didn't choose to win it. I mean, he won it, but the military approached him. According to the Anons, the military approached him and said, "You're the man." In my opinion, that could be good or bad, right? The computer calculated why and who Trump was and all this stuff and all this information, and it calculated that Trump was going to win. Now, with these supercomputers, it makes me wonder if, how did Trump not win the second time around? I think it was by decision, by design. He's able to do a lot of things he couldn't do as a Republican president, but now that he has this puppet, Biden, sitting there that he can control and make look bad and do all these things behind the scenes, in a sense, the man behind the curtain, if you will, and quarterback all these things that we see. Some of them good, some of them bad. Maybe the deep state is still fighting back, and that's when the bad stuff happens that we know, like 85,000 missing kids under the Biden administration. But again, maybe that was Trump. Maybe he is deporting them or doing what the Republicans want to do, but he knows he can't do that as the Republican Trump, because they will, they'll come after him like they did before. So, but I don't really know if that really matters. I really think that Trump chose not to win. He's going to win this year, because I just don't understand how people can still vote. If they cheated and didn't have the presidency, right, and still won, they're going to cheat with the presidency in hand and more than likely win, simply for the fact that, they can cheat and they hold the presidency. They won it when they didn't even have the presidency with their cheating ways. So now, what are the odds that Trump's going to actually be able to defeat them? Now, if he wins, it just goes to show you that the thing has been rigged for a long time. And I think Trump was the beginning of the new guard. And he won. And in 2020, he chose to lose, or I don't know. Maybe Project Looking Glass just couldn't find a proper solution for Trump to win. Maybe there was just nothing we could do to sway. Because I'm thinking the deep state also has access to these supercomputers, so they can also input stuff like, what if we do this? What if we do a George Floyd? What if we do all these things that they could have done and they did during the 2020 election? Coronavirus. What if we do? These are all fed into this algorithm, fed into this machine, the supercomputers that are simulating, basically like The Sims, all of us. All of us have all of our data, all of our information, the way we think, all of that stuff in the computers. And I think that it's easy for them to simulate what would happen if certain things happen. To this point, in this day and age, I think they can get it down to almost a T. But the human spirit is very resilient, and I think the way we operate is unpredictable no matter how much they try to predict it. And there's always that percentage, that variable, if you will, that separates the future from reality, right? So we could always make a move at any moment if you believe in free will, and I don't know. So point being is that this is what Project Looking Glass is. This is why people say Trump is still in charge and is going to win. They've been able to predict for a while now. The military has had access to this intelligence probably for 20, 30 years now. So when you think about how the Simpsons have been able to predict certain things makes you wonder if they don't have an inside guy that's, has special security clearance or something like to that effect. So that's all I really have for you guys. I really just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. That Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson basically admitting that they do, in fact, do these super quantum computing things where they insert data and they get results back off of little things, like what would happen if The Rock goes on Rogan and it shows you the increased percentages of how the odds of him winning now because he did that, or saying a certain word. The possibilities are limitless. So if you guys appreciate this kind of content, please be sure to donate to this channel. This is going to be posted on YouTube first and then on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, please consider going to my YouTube channel. It's basically called Theorizing Theorist, not The Theorizing Theorist, just Theorizing Theorist. Check it out and make sure you subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts, your theories, and in the description you should see a Cash App link. If you appreciate this video and other types of videos like it that I provide, please consider making a small donation down in the description box. Click the link and it should take you to my Cash App, and just donate $1, help a brother out, keep this channel afloat. And with that said, I'm gonna bow out with my typical, and as always, to God be the glory.